guys, today what I'm going to be doing is replacing the front crank seal on my 300 TDI Discovery. Now, to know whether or not they're leaking is, number one, there'll probably be a little patch directly under the front of the engine, and number two, if not, visibly you can see, I'll take you underneath, cover is, there's a little like drain hole. If it's leaking, it'll be coming out of there. And now it's been okay for a month or two, and it's just started to seep, and now it's getting gradually worse. So what I'm going to be doing now is replacing it basically. And to do that is to go all like radiator out, intercooler out, fan off, drain all the coolant out. Oil's okay, it's sat down in the sump, that's nothing to worry about there. And then obviously you have to take off all the pulleys, got to take off the auxiliary belt, fan belt, and also take the front cover off, and then take off the timing belt, and a couple of pulleys underneath there to get to it. So to recap what I've done so far, both batteries off. If you've got one battery, then negative off one battery. Got two batteries, negative off both batteries. Coolant emptied, and what I've done is I've just quickly yanked that pipe off there, off the header tank, bunged it up, dropped it down onto a tub, which is now, because I'm going to be reusing it, is settled down in there. So I'm going to reuse that, keep it covered up into there. Make sure if anything gets on the floor, wash it away, especially if you've got pets, because it's very harmful to pets. Viscous fan is the next thing I need to do. Viscous spanner. On this side it's the smaller one, which is the 32mm, and it's actually opposite thread. So you'd think you tighten it up, but it actually undoes it. So that's what you want to do with that there. So that undoes that one. Cap off there. Obviously then what we're going to carry on doing is removing the radiator. That's 4 bolts, 2 there, 2 there. The cover comes off. Obviously after you've removed these 2 pegs, the cover will lift off. Then you need the surround plastic off. They just lift off like that. So let's get on and try and keep you up to date as I go. I'll find you a good location to watch from. I suppose it's going to be up top of there, isn't it? 2 clips off, 4 bolts off, as usual, into a little container while working. That just lifts off now all together in one piece, so that comes up. To one side. That obviously needs the fan removing first, and it is loose. So if I go a few turns round, making sure it doesn't drop onto the radiator. No, that caught it, there you go. That's the fan out. Surrounds might come out now, sometimes there's not more pipe or 2 to do. If not, the radiator will come out first. So obviously the radiator comes out first, and the reason why you're taking everything off, and you need to take off the front panel, because you need to be directly into it and replacing it directly on top of it, so you can actually basically see everything that's going on. So let's move the rest of this pipe work. Now unfortunately it's also the oil cooler connections need to come off the radiator. It's a 24mm. Don't want to be too tight when you're doing them up, so it shouldn't be too hard to undo. And if you're lucky, you get them both undone before anything leaks, and then you can just pull them straight out and tie them straight up. Right, they're both undone. I'm going to use a bungee job just lunge them up out of the way, just keeping the pipes vertical. Get them out. And they're both out, both up straight away. And they have a little drip, but I think we can cope with that. Bunging them straight up out of the way. Doesn't matter what you tie them onto. Seems to stay. That's not going to go anywhere. That's up and around the wing mirror. There you go. That comes up now, out of the way. Okay, so radiator. Do that a bit. That's done that. Up and out of the way very carefully. And then you want to put it to one side, but it's not going to do a lot of runoff, so I may as well lay on its back somewhere. Get any oil spillage, because you can get a bit of runoff down there. Some shavings, sawdust underneath. They're up there nice and tight. Now the two washers, or should I say little rubber rings, they're still in the radiator. If you don't put it safe, then you're going to lose them. Trust me, they're a ball ache to replace. Or it's always going to cost you money, so you may as well get them pulled out and safe already. And that's the space it's left. So I need to now remove my intercooler by doing 1, 2, and then obviously there's 2 brackets there that want to come out, and then that's away. So then we're onto the front of the engine then. Now, I'll just show you now quickly what I've done is I've fitted a catch tank, an oil catch tank, and cleaned everything up before I fitted it. It just shows a difference. Look how clean that is in there. Now normally if you took yours off, that'd be caked in oil, so the engine is breathing nice clean air. So that's working, that's good. Getting warm, so I'm going to get the old that off. So now I need to do the two brackets for the intercooler, but first what we'll do is undo the grill and get his access underneath. Move it sideways, that's your side piece. And then that will rise out the inside. That's the grill. Which then leaves you with that. And obviously when your intercooler's gone, directly straight through onto the engine. And if that's enough room, then that's great. If not, they're going to be coming out. So intercooler mounting brackets. These are modified. These are obviously for the bigger intercooler, which I've made. Well, the brackets obviously, not the intercooler. Nice and gently. What needs doing is, while the belt's still on and tensioned up, the pulleys need this pulley needs loosening off, because once you can take the tension off and the belt's running free, then you haven't got the hold on that pulley to undo it, so that needs to come off. So see how easy it's going to be. Right, so you need to be giving it a quick sharp pull, tug. There you go. Just being gentle just pulls the whole thing around. Right, so all that needs doing is loosening off, because the rest of the pulleys can stay where they are, they're not in the way. So that's good. Now for the main bolt, which is in there, that is very, very tight on there. And what I've done is devise a little bit of a tool to try and undo that without too much hard work. So, new location for you. Let's see how far we get. I think you might end up on your arse if I do this, but never mind. So, your eyes do not deceive you. Lump hammer, and this is what I've devised. And well, made actually, if you like, a tool. And what it is you basically get in a position with your socket in the end, like so. Basically position it where you want it to be, and the best thing is just off the angle, so when you hammer it, it's going to release like that. Hammer down. Now obviously it'll go either way, tight or undo, whichever. So that's all. That's what I just made the other day. So it's not going to stay there without falling off. Let's see how far we get with it. And we want to be loose. So we want to be around there. I want to be hammering down, straight directly onto it like that. So in theory that should. Right, yeah. The big crank bolt, dog bolt if you like, is now loose. Take the tensioner off, remove the belt, remove the pulley, and then remove the main. Just loosen the tensioner off a little bit until you can at least get some leverage. Lift it up, remove it from where it needs to be, and away you go. So now the belt can come off, like so. You may want to draw a little diagram of to how it sort of went on, but it's not hard. Obviously, where it's ridged, the belt faces down. Where it's smooth, it's running across the back of the belt. So it's not a difficult thing to do. So you should be okay with that one. So that's out the way. Now, our little nuts. Pull it. Just obviously an idle pull of this, it's not connected to anything. Away you go. Now I have a breather as well, so that needs to be coming off and put to one side, which is a good idea if you're ever wading. You bung the bottom up, and obviously it's not going to be any contamination, but everything can still breathe as it should. So I need to unplug that, which is just a case of pulling the pipe up and pushing it out of the way. That's connected free. That's the easy good thing about them. Connectors free over there, bottom off, and then it's going to be a case of doing all the bolts, which in my experience can be a bit of a pain in the ass, but we shall see how it goes. So 27mm on a ratchet, remove the bottom bolt. Which is a long bolt. Now anybody who's seen my previous videos, the P gasket, water pump, all been done, so that can be seen in one of those if you wish. That's the big bolt removed. pulley, you'd like to think, comes off quite easily. Oh, bit of coaxing, a lot of coaxing. That's out. Now what we need is a piece of cardboard as well, rough shape, hole punctured, because these are all different lengths. So if I put them all in a piece of cardboard, they're all going back in exactly the right place. So there should be no confusion when it comes to refitting. Shape is it sort of goes around, drops down, comes up and around. Let's go around, loosening off first. It's not going to go anywhere. It's starting to rain, so thank goodness for carport. Right, so them all together. We use a hard piece you want to bait. Prise it away. That is exposed. There you go. That's a leak. That's a leak there. It gives you time also to inspect everything else. And this timing belt was done not so long ago, so that's alright. It will need looking at, making sure there's no oil residue or anything on it, but unfortunately that has to come off anyway to get that pulley off, because behind there is where the seal is. So all we're doing is tidying up. Let's sort that out. So what you need now is your big bolt back in, because you need to time it all in line. So put your bolt back in, just enough just to be able to rotate it. You need to rotate it to lock the fuel in place. Line everything else up, and then obviously you can undo the tensioner, and then your belt can come off. Tensioners should be able to stay where they are, and then this pulley can then be removed. Rotate it clockwise until you get your pit markers all lined up, which ain't far off there, because obviously what you're looking for is a little notch there, lines up with that marker there, that they need to be vertical, straight up, and you need to put a pin in there, and it's got to go all the way in, as you can see. But there's a hole in the back. You have to put a pin into bolt in. I used to just use another bolt or something. You bolt. It's going that far in. What you want to to do now is, in preparation for tightening up again, loosen these 3 off, because it doesn't remove the time, and it just allows a bit of movement on the pulley there. Undo your little bolt that's in there, and it's HW8 Allen key. So undo that, and your tension's off. That loosens your tension off there, and then what you can do is remove your belt. There we go, that's off. So what we may as well do is remove these pulleys, get them out of the way, remove the bolts. Goes, but just needs a bit of leverage. And the reason for that is these should be loctited in with some sort of lock paste or something. Comes off as a unit, and that comes off as a unit. Right, the next thing to take off would be, this needs to loosen off because it would have nipped tight a little bit as it was in use. And then obviously you've got your pulley at the bottom to take off. These are fine, these are okay in position, so you don't have to worry about them for now. So you need to try and get that big nut off without moving the shaft too much. The way I normally do that is just shock it into submission. And we're off. Well, we're loose anyway. There we go. And the shaft has moved a millimetre or 2, but it's nothing to worry about. You can just ease it back into place towards the end. There you go. Not the smallest of bolts. But then again, it does a heavy job. There she goes. That's what we're looking at. There's a little rubber ring I was talking about. I've got a new one of these, so I ain't going to be too bothered about it getting broken. But I'll keep it just in case. Right, then we could spray up in there. Doesn't look too much of a bad condition really. But it's out, and there it is. Everything underneath it, behind it, looks alright. That's the old one. Make sure I don't get it mixed up. Let's flatten them out a bit. That's rubbish. And a good clean up in there now. There must not be any sort of rough edge or anything when refitting. If there is, it wants removing. Little piece there. Other than that, everything else feels quite smooth, really. Even if that's to do with undoing it just now, or it's been there before and obviously gone unnoticed. So I might just have to clean that off. Very small file. Nearly got it. little bit at a time, just not to cause any problems. And you don't want to be marking the face. You just want to be, I'm just taking a little bit off the edge there. It's a nice job. That's a case of clean up and refit everything. Give it a very slight cover of oil, just to help us get it on again. New gasket there, very slight bit of oil just to cover it up, put it in place. So right, that's roughly in place, and what I've kept is, what I've done, I've saved the old pulley, and what I'm going to do is place it onto there, because obviously the washer's now in place. Just gently by hand to make sure it's lined up. Then using another piece of tubing that'll go over top of there. That's the axle nut tool, straight over top of there. Small piece of wood on the end, keeping it very straight. Just gently. Jobs are good and away you go. So that's another video finished, and I hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.